If you've listened to Tri-City Sports Now with me, Marky Billson, for any time at all, you know that I talk about what this place needs is a new arena. Quite literally, I look at the existing venues. There may not be a more well-known facility building in all of the in all of Johnson City. Most well-known building, if you will, in all the Tri-Cities is obviously Bristol Motor Speedway. Number 2 is probably the Mini Dome. And the Mini Dome, though, is also probably the most scorned building in all of the Tri-Cities. The sightline was never popular. It was always looked at as a white elephant. ETSU, spending millions of dollars to play 40 years after the place is built at Freedom Hall instead of on their own facility, or even, the fire marshal picks on it. Again, I don't know why the fire marshal doesn't pick on it in 1977, why it's 2005. It sounds to me like more, David Mullins, the former athletic director, incompetence. And I don't know why then ETSU says, okay, yes, let's only have a 6,000 seat facility, unless they want to try to have the sellout mentality at the Mini Dome during the final years in which the Bucks play there and that they have events there. I don't understand that at all. The only thing I can figure out is the quote-unquote sellout mentality. As a athletic program, you want to have sellouts. It is easier to sell out 6,800 seats than it is 12,000 seats. Unfortunately, you cannot return to the days that occurred years ago when ETSU basketball averaged 8,400 fans a game at what it was officially called then Memorial Center, the Mini Dome. And I mention this because Freedom Hall, where ETSU, I guess they've played there now for 3 years or so. The sightlines are better at Freedom Hall, I'll give you that. You don't have the Cleveland Stadium feel to Freedom Hall, and what I mean by that is it used to be the Indians, years ago, the Cleveland Indians played at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, which seated 74,000 for baseball. And there was a sense of pride in Cleveland that we play in what was called the largest stadium in Major League Baseball. One problem: you cannot sell 74,000 seats for a Wednesday afternoon game, let alone a Wednesday night game or something. You could basically sell 74,000 seats for the World Series, maybe for opening day, for, they used to have a promotion in which the Yankees came in on the 4th of July, okay, for that. But I was there when they had 30,000 seats, which is a nice crowd for a baseball, and it's half empty. Or half full, if you're an optimist. But yeah, it was just too big. Now, I told you that ETSU once used to draw 8,400 fans a game to the Mini Dome. Back in the Mr. Jennings era. That's fine. Okay, even so, that meant that they were averaging about 3,600 empty seats. Average. Now, again, you're not able to have that sort of revenue at Freedom Hall. You're not able to have, those large crowds. Does that prevent a Michigan State and NC State from coming to Johnson City to play the Bucks? So Virginia Tech, all these programs played in the Mini Dome. For that matter, years and years ago, North Carolina played at Freedom Hall, but it's when it was new. Well, now the city of Johnson City, considering, do we want to manage Freedom Hall anymore? I'll be very honest with you, Johnson City. No, you do not. I am reminded when former Mayor Pete Paduch once told me, this city has got to get out of the entertainment business. It's not what a city is for. And it's also one of the things that I think Elizabethton is looking at right now, because of the Twins situation, which I guess we're 8 days and counting. An announcement has to be made now that either the Twins are going to pick up some of the bill to refurbish the ballpark, namely put in better clubhouses, or the city of Elizabethton withdraws the $1 million that they were going to put up to refurbish Joe O'Brien Field, which, by the way, I think they should do right now. And I think they should let the Twins go, and I think Boyd Sports will probably move the Twins to Sevierville. And that'll pave the way for the Tennessee Smokies to move back to Knoxville. I have no insight on that. That's pure speculation on my part, but that's what I think is going to happen. And I also think that but I do understand, I'll just put it this way. If the Elizabethton Twins were run, what I'm going to say, right. If I can get a manager who will talk to me after winning his 1,000th game as Twins skipper instead of saying I've got things to do. And that wouldn't have bothered me, except it's like the 5th time he's given me that excuse. If I could have a circumstance where when I first heard and when I first reported to you way back at the end of the Appalachian League season that Jerome Kitchens had told me, he's the city manager of Elizabethton, that, I don't think the Twins will want to pay anything here. And then he clammed up and wouldn't elaborate. And actually insulted my intelligence and therefore yours as well, because I'm a conduit to the public. I don't do sports. When you're at a baseball game. That was his actual quote. I don't do sports. Very standoffish. And then the general manager, who's been on the show before, and I haven't outright banned him, but I do have a problem with Mike Maines then playing henchman and saying, well, he's just here to watch the game, and trying to go away from my questioning when I have it right there and when it's imperative to the people of the community. And he wants to keep I choose not to talk to you. Oh, great. You choose not to talk to the community then. Good luck in keeping your job as a city manager, Jerome Kitchens. That's the way I see it. Well, that's the city, in this case Elizabeth, then operating an entertainment vehicle. I've gotten off the path. The city of Johnson City operating Freedom Hall. At one time, maybe it was a good idea. I don't know. Back in the 70s when the place was opened, we can discuss that. There is a lot of history there. I mean, the Ragdoll video with Aerosmith, et cetera, et cetera. Elvis played there, and even recently Elton John did. But you know something? The place is a little too small. The floor space isn't big enough to have hockey, indoor football. That means a lack of events that can be had there. It's also not in a good location. No, it's not. ETSU has long had the problem of being, in the mindset of many in this community, subservient to Science Hill. It doesn't help that reputation any when you're playing on the Science Hill campus and not your own. Furthermore, there's nothing around Freedom Hall. There's no place without a lengthy drive to have dinner before the game or a drink afterwards. There's nothing around it except homeowners screaming at you, stay off my lawn. And although it's a good sightline, that's the problem with Freedom Hall. Anyway, the city of Johnson City is now actively talking about selling it. There are two national firms that responded last year, one from Philly and one from Los Angeles. The one from Philly I've heard of, it's called Spectacor. It's a Comcast Spectacor. They have some things. The city routinely subsidizes the facility's operating budget by nearly $300,000 annually. All they get from ETSU playing there is $50,000 a year. Johnson City has spent more than $15 million over the last 7 years to replace the roof of the facility, improve the lighting, seating, and install a new heating and cooling system. Why? Really, why? The place, in my opinion, is obsolete. It's always going to be obsolete. The floor space ensures that. A new arena is what is needed. A new arena can make the area more cosmopolitan. I don't know where the money comes from. I'm going to admit that. I don't know where you put it. Maybe you put it, I don't know, in Bluntville. Right off the interstate. Easy for 3 cities to get to. Maybe you do that. I don't know. Maybe you put it in downtown Johnson City. I don't know where you put it. Okay, I can have theories and all that, but I'm just theorizing right now. No more Freedom Hall. For that matter, no more mini dome. New arena. Place big enough to have the concerts come back. Place big enough to have minor pro sports. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Olympic hockey, the Americans playing, the Czechs tonight. What would it mean, especially with the emergence of the Predators and the fan base that they have around here, for the Tri-Cities to have an ECHL team when Knoxville, Asheville, and Roanoke do not? What would it mean to have a new arena when Knoxville, Asheville, and Roanoke do not? You know what it means? It means people from Roanoke and Asheville and Knoxville come to the Tri-Cities instead of Tri-Citians saying, we're a great community because 77% of the country is within a day's drive. That doesn't say that you have anything to do in your place. That means you're nearby, theoretically, depending on where you're going. That doesn't do it for me. Having stuff here does it for me. And that's what a new arena can do. And I've said it before, I've said it again. Anyway, bottom line is that the mayor of Johnson City, David Tomita, is going to discuss the proposals they have in hand for Freedom Hall during work on a new city budget. He has said that he sees Freedom Hall as a fundamental asset to the city. I see it as obsolete. You know what I see as a fundamental asset to the city? Building a new arena. And again, I realize that's so much easier said than done. You use public money. How much private, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, you can't even have a beer there. And that's something that, and we've had the officials of the Johnson City Cardinals on. Why are they drawing so many fans now, more than ever? They have beer sales now at Cardinal Park. They didn't used to. Again, ETSU, they might sell out tonight against the Citadel, and for that matter, their final 2 home games as well, because the men's basketball team is doing so well. But they'd be selling out and maybe selling even more tickets at another arena. $15 million to put lipstick on a pig? Really? I know it's got better sightlines than a mini dome, but we shouldn't be arguing Freedom Hall versus mini dome. We should be saying, Bluntville? Pinnacle? Downtown Johnson City or otherwise? What do you got for us, Kingsport? And talk about an arena that'll really make the area more cosmopolitan. Las Vegas had it all. They do, right? It's Las Vegas. 28 years ago, Las Vegas metro area and the Tri-Cities were exactly the same in terms of population. As I said before, I think it was 92 in terms of TV markets. There are 210 TV markets. Now Las Vegas is 40. Tri-Cities is the 97th TV market. Why? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Las Vegas is so much more cosmopolitan. But even Oscar Goodman, the mayor of Las Vegas, knew that as cosmopolitan as this city was, needed to be more cosmopolitan. It needed to bring in major professional sports, the Golden Knights, and eventually the Raiders. I'm against the Raiders' move, but even so. City of Johnson City, they're saying, let's keep Freedom Hall around. Let's see. That's not going to make you more cosmopolitan. Spectacor can promise you the moon and the stars and more concerts. They're never going to be able to promise you minor pro sports. Just not big enough for it. They're not going to get you big name concerts there. Lipstick on a pig, old, property values possibly for the homeowners of Johnson City nearby. You'd like to think that, hey, you can just walk to ETSU games. Isn't that some... But at the flip side of that, you say, hey, people leaving their trash around, blah, 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 a lot of noise, et cetera, et cetera. So that might actually reduce property values. Anyway, I am repeating myself, obviously, but I think that I need to be repeating myself. And I think that it's imperative for the community to look forward Just like even Las Vegas, which, like I said, they had it all. They had sports. They had all the major fights there. Come on. They had UNLV basketball. But hey, it wasn't enough. What do we need to go to the next level? And that's what I think that the city needs to. And looking at probably attracting state money as well as private ownership for a new facility to bring this area into the 21st century and not fall behind as it has for the last 28 years. I'm Marky Billson, Tri-City Sports Now. We haven't talked as much about the Olympics as I would like to. I'm going to get to that now. Hockey underway. Also, a little bit of baseball. Close it out. Tri-City Sports Now.